You want to secure your vault with some redstone. Well, why not use piston feed tapes to use color-coded security? This is a great way to do it. You get the right colors. You can see that's red. It's still not open. Get a green. Still not open, but you happen to get all three colors. And the door's open. It's a great way to have your vault secured. Let me show you how I did this right now. This vault security system uses piston feed tapes. So we're going to make a room like this. You can see it's basically 7 blocks long. And it has 3 of these double height windows. Now what's going to be going on behind this window is a piston feed tape, and matching it right next to it will be another piston feed tape. This one will have colors. This one will have other things to encode the signal, and then we'll have another set of tapes and another set of tapes. So basically this has got 3 different encoding wheels or piston feed tapes that will control the doors. And if you get the right combination, the doors should open, okay? And we got some diamond blocks in there because that's our treasure we're trying to keep secure, okay? So let's start building this right now. We know we're going to make piston feed tapes. We know it's going to be here and here. These two match together. I'll put these here as well so we have them and we're kind of building at the same time, okay? So we have 6 piston going outward to the side, okay? Now what we want to do here is we want to be able to activate this first, okay? So I'm going to use a button inside here on the floor. We'll put one for each of these locations. And so that will activate this feed tape system. This one will activate this and this, okay? So now this is going out right here, which is basically 1 block over. So what I want to do is, I think I want to use a sticky piston here. And I want to have that facing downward. So let's put one here, and here, and here. We're doing those all at the same time. Okay, so now what would we want to do? Well, we want to have probably a repeater down in front of this, I think. Let's try that, okay? And I want to basically make a signal go into these, so we're going to probably use an observer facing that way. Yes. So when we press the button that's up here, and I'm going to take out these blocks so I can see it, will the repeater light up? And it does. That's awesome. Okay. So now what we want to do is take that into a block. I'm going to use red for because if you remember a piston feed tape, the corners work at different speeds than the other corners. So this is like the first color. I'm going to try to color code my circuits. And I want to have a redstone torch on it, I think. And then let's have an observer going down. Okay. So that observer should see that torch and activate that piston. So it does it. Let's see if the piston fires. Okay, it did not. Probably because this delay. Let's add a delay here a little bit. And now let's see if that piston fires. Okay, that worked. So we'll replicate this on all of these. Now that that's done, we need to wrap the signal up and around so that the other side of the piston feed tape can work. Now, if you remember, though, we're going to have a block, like a tape line going vertically here. So it'll be going up like this. These are just temporary. And you'll have another one. So this is kind of like a 2-wide feed tape. Now, we're also going to need to have some sort of like a comparator here and some sort of system that takes the signal output to the doors. So basically right here is where we want to be bringing the signal up. So we've got to basically go out to this location right here, roughly, okay? So, and then bring it up. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at this. Let's put another torch here, okay? And then we're going to run some observers. I think we're going to run 4 of them here, like that. And then we can kind of chain this up. We're going to do some fun work here, okay? So there it goes up into that. Now we're going to keep this signal going upward. And a great way to do this, you could run observers the whole way, but it's kind of fun working with pistons with timings and things. So we're going to put some sticky pistons here, okay? Not sticky, regular pistons here. And then you're going to have an observer that observes that change, okay? This is basically using zero-tick abilities to get this through as quick as possible. Okay, and we're going to do another one here. Oops, I fell down. Okay, and we're going to put at the top here, I'm going to put a sticky piston, and we're going to put a red piece of wool. So what should go on is this whole entire chain should fire every time. Okay, so if we do this, that worked. And you can see the sticky piston ejected the block because it's such a short pulse. Now if we hit this again, it should grab the block. Okay, so that works. Now up here, we have to get this going across. So let me put a temporary block, and we're going to put an observer here. And we're going to run this all the way over here That should be enough, I think. So this line will see that change, okay? So that looks pretty good. So now we've got a signal that's run up here. Let me build out the rest of this, and then we'll continue. Okay, we want to push this line down, so we're going to put pistons right here, and these should fire, okay? So let's make sure that they do. Here, let me press this button here. And they do. That's good. Okay, so that works there. That's fine. Now this line will basically, this will push out. The signal will wrap around, and we'll get a signal that pushes this down, okay? Now, there's two other things that have to happen. There has to be a piston that pushes up here, and because we don't have room to push it this way, we're going to actually pull it with sticky pistons. So let me just make sure I remember to do that by putting some sticky pistons up here. We need another block high. So we want sticky pistons on top of those, okay? And that way, they'll pull the block. I'm going to build up now the other side of this, because we've only built one side. We need to have the other side bringing the signal up so that it's all together here. Okay, so what we need to do is, I think we need to have, let's put a torch on the sides of these. Okay, we're going to put an observer. I think we're going to put an observer chain going up here like that. And that should make all the pistons fire. Now, they won't fire in sequence. They'll kind of like be slightly stuttered. So, but you should see both of them go right here. Okay, they were just slightly, dink. That was good. Okay, let's put it again. And then it's really the same thing here. It's just running observers like that and doing this whole entire tower and running that across and down. So everything should be hooked up. Let me build that out really quick. Okay, now that that has been built up, you can see that we have this line, this piston's running. This is not running yet, and we don't have a piston still that pushes up in the next column, okay? So we need to figure that part out, and well, we're going to do that right now. Let's go with a different color of wool. Let's go with some yellow. So this is kind of like a different timing, and we want to make sure we can differentiate between that. The first thing we want to do is we want to bring this signal down because we're going to pull the block. So let's pull the signal downward, okay? Not with that. Let's go with the observers here. Facing down like this. Okay, so that way they are looking at the observer, they see the change, and they should power this block here. Okay, there we go. So when we press this button, this one should fire first, which pushes down. There will be an air gap, and then this sticky piston will reach out and grab it and pull it back, is what it should do. That looked pretty good. Let's do it one more time. Okay, that worked excellent. Okay, so that part's done. So now we just have to have a piston that pushes upward. And what we can do is we can do a couple of wools here, I think. And let's put some repeaters here to have the piston push upward. Nope, don't change the timings. We might have to change timings. Let's put another piece of wool here so I can put this on top. Okay, so that should work. Let's just check this out, see what it does. That didn't look too bad because this one fires, pushing over. It fires up. And then this one would push this column down and grab. That could work. We might have to adjust these timings. We'll check that out in just a second. Let me build the rest of this out so we at least have it looking right. And then we can put in the colored concrete to make this kind of look right. I've added all of the colored concrete here. You can see there is a column of 5 and a column of 7. Now, this seems a little strange because you would think the feed tapes would be kind of evened on each side. And the reason why this isn't is because this sticky piston is actually on the opposite side. So instead of pushing, it's going to be pulling in a different sequence, okay? So what should happen? Well, this piston down here will push over. So now these columns will have 6 each, slightly offset. The bottom piston here and the top piston here will push in their directions. So now this will be a little higher and this will be a little lower, but they still have 6. And then this sticky piston will reach out, grab it, and pull it back. Now I'm worried about the timings here. This should work, but it may need to be adjusted right here. Let's go and see if this works. We have orange right now, so we should be white, red in the glass here if this works. Okay, that looked like it worked. And we should have 5 and 7. That should work. Let's go take a look at it while we press the button. Let's look at the pistons from here. Okay, so that worked really well. Now that that's done, we need to have the encoding mechanism on this side. Now what we want to do is, see, red is here. Okay, red is the one we want. So we want to have right here, we want to have a block. Okay, and this block needs to be not a powered block. So the comparator is reading that as nothing, okay? And that's what we want. We want basically when all of these are nothing, that means there's no redstone signal. That means they're all correct. Then we just invert that to turn on the redstone signal to the door, and the door will open, okay? So all of the other spots, though, have to have cauldrons in them, okay? And we'll show you this in a second, but the cauldrons basically, if they're filled with water, will provide a signal. So this is very tricky when you are working with redstone, so be very careful. But basically put all the water in each of these like that. And that worked out pretty well. I'm not sure why that fired. Okay, it's probably because it's being powered by this block here. So let's put a piece of glass in instead. Okay, and that will work for sure. So you can see how that was. I made a mistake there. So glass and cauldrons, okay? So now the comparator is off. If I press the button here, so red is our color. If I press the button here, it goes down to this gray color, and the comparator should be on, okay? So let's cycle all the way around to red. Okay, here comes red. We'll hit this. Red is in the correct position, and the comparator is off. This is fantastic. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the other tapes here and cauldrons, and I'm going to set up a color code so that we have it working correctly, and then we can tie this all into the door. You can see all the feed tapes are done, and the comparators are on, which means that in this particular tape, of each of these tapes rather, they are in a locked position, okay? So we're going to take this signal out here. Now what we want to do is, when I put this right here, this line comes all the way out, and we're going to put redstone dust. Now this can be right here. We need to put one here, and then a repeater. What this is just beefing out the signal so it gets all the way over here. So if, as an example, one of these like over here was on, and these weren't here, let's say that's off, the signal is still quite strong. Okay, so that should work. Here we go. Now we're going to bring this up to the door. Okay, so the door by default is closed right now, and we want to basically have it open if the signal comes out of here correctly. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a repeater here, and this will make sure the signal is fine. We're going to go up some staircases here, kind of. We're going to go up here, and then just go across like this, I believe, and put that right there. We're going to put a redstone torch here, and redstone all the way up. Okay, so right now the doors are shut. Okay, you can see they are shut. No one can get into the vault. Now let's just say that for instance, we're just do a quick test. Okay, so this signal is gone. Now all of these are out of here, and the doors opened up. So it should work as long as we get the right combination. Now the combination I have selected for this is red, green, and blue. So you can see over here, this is ready to go. So if I go to red, that is the correct color. This comparator went out, but these two are still locked, so the doors did not open. Let's get these other ones ready to go. I got to go a little bit to get there. Okay, so here we are. We're going to go down to green. And that one should be unlocked. It is. We have one lock left to go. So when we bring this down to blue, it should then unlock and the door should open. Just like that, we can get into our vault. This system is working fine. And then when you're done, you just kind of spin the dials, if you will. Like that, and your vault is secure. This is quite a nice design. I like it a lot. It's a little bit of redstone intensive and certainly noisy because of all the pistons, but it does add some security to your vault. This is a great design that uses piston feed tapes to add security to your vaults. This is a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun working on this on the fly with you guys. I sure hope you liked this video. If you did, please click that like button. If you have any comments, put them down in the comment section. And in fact, if you're notified of the videos that I produce, please subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to hit the little bell icon so you get all the notifications. Okay, guys, thanks. Have a great day. Bye-bye.